Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are listening to me today. My name is Mr. OKWUDILI, CELESTINE, the CEO of OCO WORLD, Nigeria Super Agent in Enugu North, and the Vice Chairman of Enugu State Handball Association. I come to you with a word of peace and understanding. I bring to you what OCO WORLD has been doing in Enugu State and in Enugu North local government and in Enugu North Senatorial District. In 2018, we started up with Adada Carnival, which gave us the privilege to see the young, the vibrant, and the talented individuals that we have in Africa. After that, in 2018, we came up with Five-a-Side. The name is the OCO Nigeria Five-a-Side Football Competition. And that came up in 2018, first in June 16th. And in September, we introduced the OCO Marathon Race, OCO Nigeria Marathon Race. That gave us the privilege to get some of these very individuals to participate in the activities that is happening in OCO. After the OCO Marathon Race, we came into 2019 and we started off with Five-a-Side and the OCO Most Beautiful Pageant. It is so glorious when somebody from the outside is seeing what we are doing. To the glory of God, OCO WORLD has made it possible single-handedly to make sure that all this stuff comes in place. In 2019, we started off with Five-a-Side football competition. We tagged it the OCO Nigeria Five-a-Side football competition, which is the second edition of this project. Then the prizes. In 2018, our first prize was 200,000 naira, the winner. The second prize was 150,000 naira, and the third prize was 100,000 naira. In 2019, our first prize was 300,000 naira. Our second prize was 200,000 naira, and our third prize was 150,000 naira. We are in 2020, and OCO WORLD, based on the pandemic, the things that is ravaging the world at large, OCO Foundation introduced the palliative measures, things that we use to meet out to the needy within the OCO Senatorial District. OCO WORLD has a separate package that they use to visit these individuals, knowing who they are by their names and meeting them in their doorsteps to provide them food items such as rice, yam, and indomie. How the government? I ain't just gonna wine. As OCO Foundation, so everything here.
Oh,
you were here not alone. Making sure that any home that very particular food is getting to, will be very, very sure that in next 2 weeks they have something to feed. We give God glory for that OCO Foundation, what they were able to put in place. Now, currently we have events that we call OCO Secondary School Football Competition. We stopped that because of the COVID-19. And at the same time, we have an event that we call the OCO Talent Showcase. This is all these things that I'm speaking now is happening in this 2020. COVID-19 put it to stop. because we have arranged for everything that is for the event. But due to the dates when the event was to take place, the COVID-19 pandemic came into place and the event was put in hold. But today we have a very soft ground for if such activities to take place. Now, we are talking about Nsukka Bet Niger 5-a-side. Now we are talking about Enugu North Bet Niger 5-a-side and Nsukka Most Beautiful Girl Pageant. When you look at all these things that I talked about, the things that we started doing since 2018 and until date, you're going to see that a whole lot of things has gone into this particular thing. Millions of naira has gone into it. And I am proudly and boldly affirming to you this very particular moment that everything that you have seen in place is being single-handedly by OCO World. We give God the glory for that site. We give God glory for that office. We give God glory for that individual that is making it possible. But I must tell you that the reason for these things that we are doing is a projection, it's an insight, it's an understanding that we call Nsukka to the world. When you look at what is happening around, Nsukka is a university environment that we have wonderful names in all the sectors of life everywhere in the world pass through this very particular axis. But when you come into the town, it's not something that you can write home about. I stayed all the time. I stayed for 7 years in Lagos. I am born and bred in Nsukka, but I came from a very poor and wretched home. I had to look for a greener pasture in Lagos. I stayed for 7 years in Lagos and I came back to Nsukka without anything. When I was coming down to Nsukka, I don't have 1,000 naira in my pocket. It's just because of the plea that I requested from my friends, from my pastor, let me not call it friends, over there that gave me the transportation to come to Nsukka. But I was coming with an idea of establishing Bet Niger in Nsukka. Why did I leave at the very first place? I left because Nsukka was not putting money in my pocket. Nsukka was not favorable to me financially. I had to take some decisions to look for a greener pasture because I come from a very poor home. When I left, it wasn't easy out there because there are so many professionals that are already doing the things that you already want to do in Lagos, in Abuja, in Port Harcourt, anywhere that you think that you can gain the greener pasture of. But when I come back, I brought in the idea. And look at OCO World today. OCO World have several departments to make sure that Nsukka is a better place. The reason for all these things that we are doing is because of what it is in Nsukka that we from Nsukka has taken away our minds. We believe that we can get everything that we want out there. But in Nsukka here lies the treasure that makes one better within the environment. We are showcasing that treasure to the world. We are letting the world know that there is what it is than just university environment. Nsukka has resources that is to project the natural things that Nsukka has to the world. How can we do that? It is by what we have already started since 2018. Engaging activities, tagging Nsukka name to it. Because we know that with all these activities, it's affecting individuals. And these individuals, we're talking about Nsukka. The individuals is mentioning things that is happening in Nsukka. And thereby projecting Nsukka to the world. OCO World has made it mandatory and has put a word on it that Nsukka must be projected to the world because of what we have. It is hard time we come back home and make Nsukka a better place. It is true that we have been doing everything that we are doing single-handedly. But Nsukka Talent Showcase 2020 is not something that we want to trade upon. It's not something that we want to bring in our thoughts or our initiatives to. Nsukka Most Beautiful Girl is a cause that concerns me and you if you are from Enugu North. Because when I mention Nsukka, the light that people understand, people get is that Nsukka comprises of Igwetiti, Ozo 1, Udenu, Igweze North, Igweze South, and Nsukka local government. That is why we are tagging it that name, so that people can easily reference that name Nsukka, because many persons that even pass through University of Nigeria Nsukka don't know that there are these local governments. So it is very, very important that we bring that name that is originally known by everyone outside Nsukka, that there are better things that is going on in the world. Nsukka is something that we all want to represent. Nsukka is a name that we all want to present to the world, because there are so many treasures that we have here. And truly, OCO WORLD has been doing so many things to make this a success. That is why in this 2020 edition of the Nsukka Most Beautiful Girl pageantry, we are introducing a car to the first runner-up, the winner of this very particular event. We want it to be bigger. We want it to introduce people, artists, people that can post it in their pages and in their timelines, letting us understand that Nsukka is beyond what people see that it is, because we know of the names of certain individuals that is heading from this particular place. If you are from Nsukka, listening to what I'm saying, and we have your number, I am going to assure you that we'll reach to you, because it's something that we must do collectively. But you are from Nsukka and we don't have your number, and you want to be part of this thing, this project of projecting Nsukka to the world, I would like you to reach OCO WORLD. We would love and we would love to be identified with you, projecting you to the world, being part of Nsukka to the world. It's a project that we all must come together to put in place. And if you are not from Nsukka and you understand the place that we are going to and feel that you could be part of it in any way, Nsukka will be so happy to have you, so that we are going to have a wonderful and sweet Nsukka in a very nearest future. OCO WORLD and Nsukka at large is expected to hear from you, because we know that with your little effort and contribution, Nsukka will become a better place. It's not something that we should be calling on government every time. It's based on what you can do as a person, the little you can do. There is a saying and understanding that you start living when you start giving. It's not about how much you have in your bank account, but how much you do with what you have in your bank account. I would encourage you to be part of this and write your name in the history book of Nsukka, because what you are doing is not for yourself, it's for your town, and it's to the glory of God. Thank you, and God bless you anywhere you are listening to the sound of my voice. My name remains Mr. OKWUDILI, Celestine, the CEO of OCO WORLD and Bet Niger Super Agent in Enugu North Senatorial District, and the Vice Chairman of Enugu State Handball Association. Thank you, and God bless you.